Welcome, ladies and gentlemen who attend the ICELS Conference 2021. My name is Chaturan Imarunrap. I'm the master degree student from Khon University under the supervision of Associate Professor Dr. Varisri Singhasri. Today, I would like to present my presentation in a pre-recorded format because of the pandemic that has been going on right now. But I will also attend the online conference on the real day, just in case anyone has a question. So without further ado, I would like to start the presentation right now. And so the title of my presentation is An Analysis of Evaluative Language in Online Film Reviews. So about the 20-minute presentation, it features the summarized and shortened version of backgrounds and literature reviews. You can download the full version of the PowerPoint using the link that will be provided during the end of this presentation. The core theories and ideas crucial to the methodology and analysis are not cut from this presentation. So the content of this presentation, I will separate it into 5 parts. Let's go to the first one, the introduction. So, what is evaluative language? Evaluative language refers to written or spoken language that used to evaluate feelings, entity, behavior, things, and concepts. Like when we use the word, "That's a very beautiful car," or "Rolla is our lazy coworkers." In this place, we use those words to criticize or to praise some things. Therefore, this is considered an evaluative language. Evaluative language mostly found as an adjective but not limited to specific part of speech. It is used to criticize or praise someone or something in some way. It can be either positive or negative. It signifies that the user of evaluative language has an opinion. Therefore, the language user always express their attitude when they use evaluative language. The key word here is that the language user always express their attitude. Therefore, the attitude is part of the evaluative language. In this place, Hunston, she said that when we going to analyze evaluative language, we need to use attitude analysis by Martin and White, 2005. But in order to understand this concept, we need to also understand the systemic functional linguistics by Halliday and Hassan, 1985, and appraisal theory by Martin and White, 2005 as well. So why evaluative language in online field review is being studied? Or it is because evaluative language often occurs in authentic material that commonly seen in real life. Evaluative language reflects user belief and review their feeling toward object or people they evaluate. Studying evaluative language also gives insight about how language are used to persuade readers and beneficial in field of applied linguistics, especially discourse analysis. Evaluative language are commonly studied in written advertisement, and field studies have been focused on written online film review, even though the online film review has been fit the criteria of applying the same framework for the analysis due to being a written discourse and also contain words or phrases that indicate evaluation. I have 2 research questions. The first one is what are the evaluative language used in online film review featured in Rotten Tomato website? And the second one is what are the similarity and differences of evaluative language used in online film review featured in Rotten Tomato website between professional and consumer critics? So let's move on to chapter 2, literature reviews. The content of literature reviews, I will be focusing mostly on systemic functional linguistics and appraisal theories. The online film review and the previous study, I will skim through it a little bit. So if you want the full version of this, you can download the full slide that I will provide the link during the end of this video. So about systemic functional linguistics, it has been developed by Michael Halliday. And he said that when we use language, we produce text. Text need context to be fully understandable. Traditional grammar focus on language as a part of speech, while SFL look at language and their functions. There are more than one function of text being used at once when we speak or write some things. In fact, there's a three metafunction of text that has been used: the ideational metafunction, interpersonal metafunction, and textual metafunction. In this present study, we will focus on interpersonal metafunction because the description of this function is that it enacts social relationship, cooperate, form bond, praise, and criticize something. So the keyword is that it praise and criticize something. Therefore, it is in line with how evaluative language has been used, and it is also instructed by Susan Hunston that we should be looking into interpersonal metafunction. The reason for that can be seen in this chapter, the appraisal theory and attitude analysis, which I will talk about after this. So, the appraisal theory by Martin and White 2005 actually has been inspired by the interpersonal metafunction, originally presented by Michael Halliday. Appraisal theories theorize that when we use text, and text has been constructed, the writer also share their emotion, their norm, their value, their taste, and their assessments. So it has the appraisal theory has three interacting domains. The first one is attitude, concerned with feelings such as emotional reaction, judgment of behavior, or evaluation of things. Engagement, and other one is graduation. We'll focus on the attitude because the decision of focus on attitude is also present in the previous studies. And because the attitude system categorizes the evaluative language and the detailed attitude analysis is crucial to inspect film critics' preferred criteria of film reviewing. In conclusion, the present study will adopt the appraisal framework, the attitude analysis, due to the credibility and reliability mentioned in the previous studies. So, in the attitude analysis, Martin and White described attitude as the way of feelings. When we use language, we express feeling through the way we speak and write. In this model of attitude analysis, Martin and White have developed a term for classifying feelings and attitude into three semantic regions. As displayed here, we have affects, the evaluation of self, reflective emotion. The judgment is the evaluation of people behavior, and appreciation is the evaluation of things. The three big categories is also separated in the small categories. In total, we have 12 types. We have 4 types of effects. We have 5 types of judgment, and we have 3 types of appreciation. So, for example, when we see the words, the phrase such as Stacy is a hardworking girl. In this place, the word Stacy is a hardworking girl. Stacy is a person. Therefore, the evaluative language used here is categorized as a judgment. And she is a hardworking girl. That means it is a judgment of her tenacity. Therefore, the category here is the judgment tenacity. Same here. The phrase, this bike has pretty nice design. We can see that the thing that has been judged or evaluated here is the bike. Therefore, it is a thing, and it is categorized as appreciation. And nice design is talking about the composition, the parts of the bike. It also has the nice design in addition to it being a bike. So in this place, it is talking about its composition. So the type here is the appreciation composition. How we can see which evaluative language fits which type and categories is explained in the books by Martin and White 2005. And this is the example of them using the attitude analysis to analyze this paragraph here. And they categorize every evaluative language that has been found based on the affects, judgment, and appreciation, like this. This is also the way that we will use the exact same tool to analyze our online film reviews from professional and consumer critics as well. So go briefly into the online film reviews. Online film reviewing in general began around 1920s. One of the first newspaper featuring the film reviewing is the Bioscope. The film reviewing established itself as a staple in magazine during 1940s, and around 1990 to 2000, it has been expanded into the online format. One of the earliest sites that has a film review in the online world is Metacritic and Rotten Tomatoes. So now we get the reviews, but sometimes within the reviews, when the evaluative language has been used, it is not used to criticize or praise the review, the film itself. Like, for example, the critics may write something like, "My wife is beautiful and watching this film with her is like a dream come true." It can be seen that the beautifuls here clearly count that evaluative language, but it is not the evaluative language that is relevant to film reviewing. Therefore, we will use the aspect of online film reviews, 6 aspects of online film review by Na, Ted and Koo 2009, to separate the evaluative language that's referring to the online film review and the evaluative language that doesn't fit these criteria from each other, and the evaluative language that doesn't refer to any element of film review at all. We will exclude them from the analysis. So let's move to chapter 3, methodologies. The contents of methodology will be separated into talk about the research design, sample data selection, analytical framework, data analysis, and the summary of the methodology. So about the research design, this study is a systemic functional discourse analysis. The main focus is on the interpersonal function and evaluative language that has been used in online film review. It is considered as an analysis of text and to define and categorize evaluative language. The appraisal theory framework and attitude analysis by Martin and White 2005 is used prominently with the incorporation of aspect of movie review by Na, Ted and Koo 2005. The evaluative language extract from the online film review will be categorized based on the attitude analysis framework. About sample and data collection, the sample that we collected will be collected from the online review sites of Rotten Tomatoes from these 3 films: The Avengers Endgame, Avatar 2009, and Star Wars The Force Awakens. The criteria of selecting these films is because they are the top 3, the most profitable box office titles. So they reach the wider audience and will have a more diverse group of the data from more diverse audience, because a lot of people have been watching these and make a lot of reviews on the site. There's 7 criteria regarding the selection of the online film. The first one is the online film has to be posted on Rotten Tomatoes. Second one is that it consists of both professional and consumer critics. The third one is only the written online film review will be included, because the framework can only be used with the written text, not the spoken text. It also needs to contain the element of attitude by Martin White 2005. The online film review feature in this analysis will need to be at least 100 words in length, because the minimum words that we found during the preliminary studies of the professional critic is at least 100 words. Therefore, we should incorporate the review from consumer critics that has at least 100 words as well. So the proportion of the data will not be too much different. So the 6 criteria, this present study will feature the same number of positive and negative online reviews. And the last one is only evaluative language that related to aspect of the film review will be included. For the sample size, in total we have 32 reviews. We will get from 8 positive professional reviews, 8 positive consumer reviews, 8 negative professional reviews, and 8 negative consumer reviews. Here are some of the analytical frameworks. I also include what we will do in the analytical frameworks in the data analysis procedure. So let's talk about this. So after the online film review has been collected based on criteria mentioned in the data section, all evaluative language will all evaluative language in the review will be extracted. So the extracted evaluative language then will be checked for their viability using the aspect of film review. The one that doesn't have anything to do with film reviewing will be excluded from the analysis. So the attitude analysis then will be used to categorize the evaluative language according to each category of affect, judgment, and appreciation. So now we move to chapter 4, the result. In this chapter, I will be presenting the data based on the research question. So the research question 1, what are the evaluative language used in online film review featured in Rotten Tomato website? In this research question, we have been analyzed 15,829 words and word token. We have found 322 evaluative language that has been used. The consumer critic used the evaluative language 148 times compared to professional, which is 176 times. So the brief explanation of what we have accomplished for research question 1 is that we get the statistical data of how many times evaluative language has been used in online film review of consumer and professional critics. We apply the attitude analysis and able to get the statistical data of all 12 types of affect, judgment, and appreciation. We also have ratio of the positive and negative evaluative language that appear in all 4 types of review, which are positive consumer, negative consumer, positive professional, and negative professional reviews. We use 6 aspects of film review by Narted and Koo, and able to get statistical data of each aspect that has appeared in the analysis in each group of the review as well. So about research question 2, what are similarity and difference of each evaluative language used in online film review featured in Rotten Tomato website between professional and consumer critics? In summary, they both have some similarity and some differences. And here are the details of the similarities. But again, to save time, we will present it in the summarization form. So the summary of similarity is that appreciation appears the most in both groups. The most used type of appreciation is appreciation reaction, which concerns with how things grab our attention or persuade us to like them. Affect appear the least in both groups. And 2 types of affect, which are affect inclination and affect security, doesn't appear at all in both groups. Here are the summaries of the difference. Although affect appear the least in both groups of critics, professional has significantly less percentage of affect, which are 2% compared to consumer, which are 13%. Consumer focus more about judgment normality, how popular, how normal, how special someone is compared to the professional. Although appreciation appear the most in both groups, professional use appreciation composition more than consumer, which is 28% compared to 20%. Consumer use more positive evaluative language in positive review compared to professional, and consumer also use more negative evaluative language in negative review compared to professional. In terms of aspect of film review that has been evaluated, the consumer mostly evaluate the movie as a whole, the overall sentiment of the movie, while the professional mostly evaluates the specific elements such as the scenery and action of the movie. Now we move to the last chapter, discussion and conclusion. Again, we'll be skipping the details and explaining each part in the summarized form. So, about brief summary of discussion, the reason that affect is being used the most is in line with the definition of film critic by Battaglia 2010, which said that the film critic job is to persuade the viewers to agree with their point of view. Therefore, evaluating elements of the film and their quality would make them appear less biased and more trustworthy. Consumer critics tend to be more direct and straightforward and blunt with their review. This can stem from the fact that Rotten Tomato website consumer critics are anonymous, while professionals often show their face and work for agency, according to John Berger, 2013. And consumer and professional focus their evaluation on different aspects of the film. Consumers are mostly praised and criticize the film as a whole, while professionals often specify which element of the film they want to evaluate. These findings support the view of past study that professional critics might appear to be more knowledgeable because they have more knowledge of film industry and techniques. Therefore, they can afford to be more specific when they give their reviews. However, the fact that consumers are more straightforward also support the previous study that theorized that they might appear to be more relatable and trustworthy for the reader as well. So in conclusion, this present study provides several benefits. Firstly, it reveals how professional and consumer critics express attitude and use their evaluative language, and reveal whether their reviews are subjective or discriminative in what ways. So it is able to answer the question about trustworthiness and authenticity of the reviews provided by as it has been provided in the gap of previous studies. Secondly, in terms of impact on marketing, the present study also can be beneficial in terms of marketing the industry because in this sense, the movie industry can use the data about the aspect of film review that has been criticized the most to make an informed decision on whether aspect of the film they want to prioritize if they want to get the advertisement and good impression toward both critics and audience. And finally, the use of evaluative language in online film review is considered a form of persuasion. Therefore, it will be beneficial in a persuasive writing course, and especially about the discourse analysis course. And also, as a result, this present study could also benefit the English writing student and teacher as well. So these are some of the references. This will be the end of my presentation. Thank you. If you have any question, I will be glad to answer. You can contact me through the emails and my phone number that I have provided here. You can also use the QR code to scan and go to the YouTube channel to see this presentation video in YouTube. And the full slide can be downloaded from the link in the description of the presented video. Thank you very much and have a nice day.